time for these guys.
It's very top-heavy right now, isn't it, at the top?
Well, when you get one team that wins 2 in a row, it's...
Exactly right. You win 2 games in a row, it's going to be top-heavy. Match 3 for day 1 of the PGC Grand Finals starting right now. It will be the final game of Erangel today. And will Gen G continue their domination, looking for now 3 chicken dinners in a row as we get our plane path just north of Primorsk.
A very southern plane path from west to east here, kind of the opposite of the plane path we just saw. Very rough plane path so far here on Erangel. So anybody wanting to loot up north, they're going to have to drop down pretty early, find some vehicles, make their way up there. Looks like Gen G, that might be what they were thinking.
And we'll see, of course, now coming into this game, a lot of eyes on teams that need to turn it around. I think we've already got an establishment of the teams that are doing well, but the teams that need to turn around, Lazarus, TSM, GEX, how are they going to play here? Because the thing is, if you have another poor performance, Poro, all of a sudden 3 out of 12 games and you're still sitting around 0 to 2 points, it's looking extremely unlikely that you'll be towards the tippity top going into tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be rough, and add into the fact that you got to look at Gen G. Who is going to stop these guys right now? Everybody's pinched, essentially, except for Gen G and TSM. Now GEX is turning around. They're going to go right into Gen G. They're going to trade out immediately. Pio's going to go down. Taman, the last one of GEX.
3 down for Gen G in the blink of an eye. GEX have done well, but Lazarus smell blood in the water. They're going to try and push on to GEX and G. They might be the ones to capitalize the most. Luke 12 is fragging right now. He might find himself an AK. Taman from behind the rock gets shy away very low. He can see Loki, and the other members at that rock can potentially give information. Oh, he watched the nade of death, and it doesn't beat his death. It's the shot from shy away. GEX have just wiped out Gen G. No 3 wins in a row for them. 4 kills for Luke 12 of 7. Lazarus, do they continue their push onto GEX? Now that fight's over, they might prefer position instead.
Oh man, I feel like they've got to continue this push, right? They have to keep pushing. They left Alo behind to make sure that TSM didn't wrap on them.
Smart.
And he is so far serving a good purpose here, as Lazarus hasn't found the correct angle really to really get into GEX here, but GEX is going to have to move. They've got the blue right on their backs.
Over towards the northeast, this is enters Force and VC. TSM keeping an eye on this fight. They're not pushing over towards Lazarus. Lazarus with a 3-1 split, as you mentioned. Alo stayed behind at their previous location. Purdy Curdy with a nade onto Sophia. This is where Lazarus are at their best. They have just wiped out GEX. And the North American team's up to 10 kills, but leading the way is the Australian with 5.
You had to throw that extra part in there, didn't you? 4 AM now, turning their attention towards VC. Domu is going to get knocked, and now Helen has gone down as well. SKT in trouble here, as they might be going out.
Forever. Seeing if you can find something as it just starts to resemble a massacre at the top of Stalba. The nade down to the hill towards DJ Boy. He wants to get out of there. Ada going for the heal, but it's getting pushed on by Wayless. 4 angry men. The Molotov, it doesn't confirm Ada, but Wayless is going to spot him trying to climb out. And 4 AM have got 3 kills, and they should be able to find this revive as well, I believe.
Yeah, they have to make sure they still pay attention though, because they do have VC and Entis Force off to their northeast.
TSM watching, and TSM are
rapping
pushing.
on this. TSM rapping on this. They had left Michael behind to do the same thing to Lazarus that Lazarus did to them. Gustav going to take a few shots, not going to find its home. Yep, he's going to get the down on Doya. Songjang is going to try to run across the street. He's got the smokes though.
Domu's knocked down as well. DJ Boyd, last one alive for VC. 4 AM here in the shots, they spot him. That's going to be a quick wipe onto VC. 4 teams remain. But as this is happening, Lazarus is getting so much of the circle because everyone's pushing up to the northeast. 4 AM spot TSM, who have got a 2-2 split right now, but Michael's been left really far behind, and he got spotted by Purdy Curdy. There goes Songjang, enters Force out in 4th. 3 teams remain. It's 4 AM, TSM, and Lazarus.
TSM has been playing this really, really well. They still have 4 up, but they just don't have a lot of kills because nothing's really been funneled down to them. This could all change, though, as 4 AM has to make their way out of Stalbert.
Iro spots Purdy Curdy behind the tree, but Wayless has got that high ground. He gets Iro with a couple of tags, forces him to pop that first aid kit. 2 kills for TSM. It hasn't quite been as a grand game as Lazarus, but they've got 4 alive. Potentially a win on the cards here. If they can deal with 4 AM, it's a 4v4v4, and boy, this is a crucial game, because with Gen G having finally a bit of a lackluster game, you can start to catch up to that first place position.
Absolutely. We see Iroh taking a few shots over towards Purdy. Lazarus very split up now, multiple lines of sight. They have all the information they need. 4 a.m. is just stacked right now on top of each other, trying to figure out how they're going to come down this hill. Meanwhile, Alo keeping Michael honest.
Week 12, 3 nades still remaining. The other thing as well, Lazarus are going to have more utility remaining in terms of smokes and grenades. Their fights have been quick and clean, whereas, of course, 4 a.m. have been scrapping. You could say the same for TSM, though. They should still have a lot. Purdy, that's not the place to be. Fortunately, gets behind the trees, and Michael loses sight of him before he could find the knock. And if he had been knocked there, he probably goes down. As Rory pushing so close now to 4 a.m. That circle went north. Lazarus and 4 a.m. in the best position. TSM on the outer edge.
Yeah, 4 a.m. getting a little bit of a reprieve here. They can still stay on their cliffside edge here on the south side of the Stalmer. Play from these rocks. Doing a good job of not giving up any downs here. That's kind of what it feels like TSM's waiting for. They want to get it down and then push on it, but 4 a.m. not over-peaking, not over-committing. So.
Got a lot of time, of course. We've only just gone into phase 7. It was so chaotic in that mid-game that, of course, coming down to 12, alive, going into phase 6, so much space still available. That's why it has slowed down temporarily. But, boy, going into phase 8 onwards, Pora, that's when it'll pick up again. If TSM make the push onto 4 a.m., we might see it happen now. 4 a.m. are going to have the high ground. TSM at a disadvantage. Michael with a bit of a peek. Wayless holding close by, but it's ZGG with the overwatch as he keeps eye to make sure that Wayless doesn't get spotted. ZGG is usually the aggressive one. He's the frontline man. He'll be the one to find the knock or two. If you can take him out, 4 a.m. can be vulnerable.
This is such a bad fight for TSM to take against 4 a.m. They have him pretty much dead to rights. Michael does find a few shots on him, but Gustav immediately going to get traded back.
Lazarus are watching TSM as well. They've got no interest in 4 a.m. Basically, it's Lazarus and 4 a.m. watching TSM on the edge of this circle. Nade thrown towards the rock. Doesn't make it over, doesn't connect onto ZGG. TSM throwing at their utilities, smokes, nades, trying to relieve the pressure, but it's not really working. They're not moving position. They're not finding knocks. Michael down to half health from ZGG, playing this so well, so passive. And for Lazarus, they're continuing to just hold their position out west and at the center.
You can see they're starting to make their way across the street, and Luke's going to get the down on a Forever.
He's not done. He wants that 8K.
Let's see how TSM responds to this. They're going to still hold their position on this roadside. ZGG and Wayless doing a good job of preventing them from coming over to the top. Looks like Xiaolu should get the res on Forever. Meanwhile, Lazarus has taken this time to send 2 above the road and
goes
2
down
below.
Surely to Alo here. There's nothing he can do. One tag a second, but he can't find the third. The first aid kit did its job. Gets to that next tree, which was inside the previous circle. No longer, though. That circle again now for phase 8 shifts onto Lazarus. It's their game to win from here, you'd think, but Alo's been knocked down. Michael potentially allowing TSM now to maybe push over and fight with Lazarus. Alo is down. Uncivil going for the revive.
TSM is pushing this, though. They've got Gustav and Rory. They're sending him right on top. They're going to get the second down onto Uncivil. This is exactly what they were waiting for. They wanted to get that down so they could push on it. Purdy and Luke now, the last 2 remaining members up for Lazarus.
Has this game fallen away from the grasps of Lazarus? 4 a.m. up north have recovered. They've got 4 up. TSM find the double kills onto Lazarus. They now move south. And now Purdy and Luke 12 are about to be the unfortunate meat in this sandwich of TSM and 4 a.m. They are in some serious trouble.
Such an unfortunate circle for Lazarus there, as things didn't go their way. Luke is actually going to get down by Forever here, and now it's just down to Purdy, and he is in the dead center, trying to stay alive here as 4 a.m. is swarming across the top of this hillside, and TSM has the low ground.
Luke 12 eliminated, as you said. Purdy remains. 4 up still for TSM, 4 up for 4 a.m. But it's the high ground for 4 a.m. Have they found a way to claim match 3, or will TSM get right back in the thick of things in terms of the overall standings? For reference, though, still it's been a massive game for Lazarus. 14 points gained from this game is huge.
And that's the minimum. Kurt could still clutch this out.
Oh.
Nobody's really spotted him yet, and TSM and 4 a.m. kind of keeping each other from pushing up.
And
it's really
ZGG playing that aggressive position again. He's the one on that rock face. Michael trying to push up for TSM as the flank out to the east. He needs to be the one to spot ZGG, but it's not going to be able to because of that rock formation. ZGG is on the other side, which means the only players that Michael can spot will be the ones that are still at the top. We go into phase 9. The blue zone moves as Purdy Curdy is eliminated, spotted, found by Forever. 6 kills for 4AM, 4v4 here for match 3. Forever finds a tag on the Gustav, but it's Michael who did the job. He got the front man at ZGG down for 4AM. Michael, can he find any more? He wants to flush, he wants to end it now. Xiaolu sends Michael back behind the rock with that headshot.
Great time from the flank from Michael. He found what he needed to. Iroh's going to step it up, and he's going to get the down on the Wayless. Forever looks like he might think he could try to get this res, and he should be able to. The circle still a little bit away. ZGG is going to get flushed out, though.
I think Xiaolu's been spotted. They're getting shot at now. The pressure is just mounting onto 4AM, despite their high ground advantage.
There it is.
TSM are cutting them down one by one, and only one angry man remains. And there are about to be some angry men because TSM surely now will claim match 3. Gustav knocked down though. Maybe there's still a twist left in this tale for match 3. Xiaolu, 24 health. He's got all 3 members right in front of him. He'll get the knockdown onto Michael. Is there any more still to come? This would be disastrous for TSM. They get the win in the end. 8 kills for TSM. They're back in the fight.
TSM stepping it up here in game number 3. 8